Hi guys, it's Lady V and you are having virtual tea with Lady V. So I wanted to take a moment to kind of just sit down and talk with you guys and talk with you individually if you're looking at this video alone or if it's a group that we could sit down and talk before we start class on Thursday. And we are in the art module of meditation, mandalas, and mood, and that includes mindfulness. So in that vein, we're going to talk about some mindfulness, and today's thought is about how perspective is everything. Now you might be wondering, Lady V, what are you talking about? Okay, so one, remember I'm a child of the 60s and I'm woohoo as all get out. And so I've been a kid that grew up that always wondered, how is something made? What does it do? How does it function? What can I do with it other than what it does, right? I've always been curious. And you can consider, since I'm a child of the 60s, I'm old enough to be your grandma. But consider me the grandma that's curious, that's wanting a new perspective in everything she does and wants to share new perspectives with everyone that she encounters. Because the key to having a different perspective and being able to see the bigger picture is to be willing to be curious. So today, we're going to be doing, or actually Thursday, whenever you see this particular video, we are going to be doing a drawing surrounding the heart. Now listen, I know that your heart and my heart have gone through a whole bunch. Otherwise, we wouldn't be sitting here in the same room spending time together, right? Both of our hearts were courageous enough and curious enough to find solutions to find ourselves exactly where we are now. I found myself in teaching young people that lived a life very much like mine. And you found a safe haven in Harrison House in Main Street or at Safe House in order to rest and to reflect and to reboot and refresh and then to get on with your life. So while we're doing this virtual experience and this virtual, tea with Lady V, we're going to talk about things that ask you to go deeper because life's too short to not be curious. Now, how does perspective tie into our art project that we're going to be doing? First of all, your perspective of how you see something creates a belief system and creates a judgment, and it creates all of these layers of thought as you put lines upon a page. For a lot of you, you'll look at your art and you'll go, it's not good enough. And a lot of you will look at your art and say, hey, that turned out pretty cool, that's good, Every day that you create a piece of art, it's done. That's the perspective. Every day you step into a new creation, you look at yesterday's creation and you may say that perspective is old and I'm going to have a new perspective today and I think I want to add this to this art piece. And now it's a completely different thing. That's the alchemy of art and the beauty of art in creating new perspectives. So perspective can be taken literally from come close, go away, however you want to look at it. But for what we're doing is I want you guys to think deeper. I want you to think about your life story as a perspective to not only communicate your truth, but to communicate your magnificence. In every line and every dot or every swirl or every straight, ragged, jagged line you do in the art class we're going to be doing Thursday, it's an expression of your soul. And every soul has a voice, and that voice is perfect. Because think about it. When you judge your art or someone else judges your art, you have to take a look at where is that judgment coming from? What art police, right, is looking at your art and saying, hey, that's not good, or hey, that's cool, or hey, that's different. You know, where is all of it coming from? Or how about if we just chose to experience the art and have a reaction? That's the beauty about this gallery show we're going to be doing. We're going to be creating art pieces for the gallery show that will elicit a reaction. And that reaction is going to be a very exciting thing for the viewer of the art pieces we'll be creating as we go forward. So everything you do, from the smallest tiny line to the largest big bold statement, maybe it's some political statement or maybe it's some agenda statement of some sort, right? To a tiny, tiny nuance, to a single dot on the page, has the single dot on the page to the big bold statement has just as much value, because however you interpret it through your own perspective gives it a whole beautiful storytelling opportunity. And that is the beauty of art. And that's the beauty of what I get to do with you guys. So, in telling you about perspective, I'm going to be working on a kind of an interesting, fun little ditty where we're using the heart, and we're using the heart and line work to determine how do we communicate our life story? How do we communicate how you have come through life, found yourself where you are, and how do we communicate your future curiosities about where this soul wants to go? Now, again, you guys know I'm woohoo as all get out, and that I'm the 60s grandma who's curious, right? So I want you to think in terms of, if you don't know where you're going, then all you need to do is be here now. And in this nowness, in my perspective, my woohoo grandma of the 60s perspective, that's plenty good. And in that moment of now, you're aware and vital and magnificent and capable of figuring out whatever it is that your next step will be. Right now, the world is in a huge awakening. It is in a place that it hasn't been for a very long time. But in that place, we can see negativity, or we can see creativity. We can see alchemy. We can see all sorts of things. It depends on how you want to look. You know, how many times have you gone out in the middle of the day and you've been all grumpy and funky, and all you saw was funky all day long? And then there were other days that you woke up going, my God, it's a beautiful day, and all you saw was beauty all day long. All of that is perspective. So we're going to tie your current perspective about how you see your life into an art piece that each line represents a passage of time or a current emotion, or however it is you want to define yourself. You can't do it wrong. But I think at the end of the day, what you'll find at the end of the class and the end of the day, it'll be a fun little ditty that we can play with. So I want to leave you with, oh, maybe I didn't mark the page. Yeah, I didn't. We're going to be talking again about Neale Donald Walsch, and I'll do that in class because, you know, he has a really neat way of talking about perspective. And he has a really neat way of talking about fear in particular. And a lot of people are in fear right now because they don't know where the next job is. They don't know where they're going to live. They're not sure how they want to re-enter the world because of COVID-19 or other dramas that are going on in the world. And so when you talk about an interesting perspective with Neale Donald Walsch, Conversations with God, kind of cool stuff, he talks about fear. And how he defines fear is feeling excited and ready. So I'm going to invite you into a new perspective. Fear, feeling excited and ready to tackle some art that doesn't necessarily have a very, very defined way of being. and allowing your art to come out and flourish and be a beautiful opportunity of self-expression that is absolutely perfect and that is absolutely divine and that is absolutely seen with your intention of that one snapshot in time, in that moment. What do I mean by that? Tomorrow you may look at the art and say, oh wow, who was that? I don't know, let's get curious and find out, who was it? That's the beauty of art. One day you'll create one thing and you wonder, who was I channeling, right? Who was that person? And other days you go, wow, I don't know who she was, but that was not cutting it, right? All sorts of ways to be in art. And that's, you know, truly, guys, listen, this is the reason why I love doing what I do. It is so much fun to play in the sandbox with you, and we're going to enjoy spending time together and having more virtual tea with Lady V. So I'm going to leave you with perspective is everything. How you jump into this next art project is completely up to you, and allow you and invite you to be curious and to allow the process to unfold with joy and with curiosity. Okay, guys, much love. I'll see you Thursday.